You are now rocking with the 3-yard play.
Right.
We just figured out a 3-yard play, fam. We're gonna win every time.
Yeah.
Hit that link with you. Come on in.
You're tuned into the 3-Yard Play podcast. Well, the only question is, does it work for you?
Trail got wings, bitch.
We been working all year. It's game time. We all here. We turned up. Oh yeah. Cause we finna be the champs this year. We been working all year. It's game time. We all here. We turned up. Oh yeah. Cause we finna be the champs this year. We live in weight just to hold up the trophy. Flag on the plate, cause them haters can't hold me. And one, 2-a-days and run. Up the biggest hill just to sharpen up my skills. They hit the scoreboard first, I had to hit them drills. Time I get around the corner, they gon' see my new wheels. After practice, till the lights come on. Till they bust ride out and they gone. That rally had us help, my teammate down the steps. Player, we got plays you ain't even seen yet. I post up and fade away like graffiti. Just don't claim it's love when you see us on TV. We been working all year. It's game time. We all here. We turned up. Oh yeah. Cause we finna be the champs this year.
3-Yard Play podcast.
We been working
brought to you by reality.
all year.
Where it is what it is.
Game time.
You get what you get.
We all here.
So comment and let us know where you
Oh
live.
yeah. Cause we finna be the champs this year.
Yeah, just like that, we back at it, man. It's a whole new year, 2023. We kicking the ball off. First episode
sir.
of the new year, man. Super excited. What's going on, fellas? What's up, T-Mo? What's up, LJ?
Chilling, bro. Chilling.
Oh, what it do?
Man, out here, man. Shit, trying to refine ourselves and get better, man. I would say growth and development. I don't want nobody to think I'm gang banging, but you know, man, hey, growth and development, Brethren. Just trying to improve myself, man. How y'all doing?
Love
Same,
it,
man.
Yes, exactly.
Bro, I'm feeling real good. This 2023 started out on the right foot for your boy. Go Dogs.
Okay.
Hey, there they go. There they go. And not
the W's. We came in with these W's, bro. So you know I'm feeling good about everything we talked about. This growth and development, bro.
Yeah,
that's a
definitely.
blessing already, man.
Definitely.
And
man.
RIP to Gangsta Boo, man. We can't
Man.
rush out the door, man, without showing respect to Gangsta Boo, man. One of the coldest female lyricists in the game, man, from way back. So pay our respects, and she go on to better days.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
R.I.P. Yes, definitely.
I got that news when I was hanging with my folks from UGA, all my partners, and we used that used to just run that Gangsta Boo all through them 90s. You know what I mean? So
Oh, yeah.
we would gather around when we got the news, and it was just like, dang, bro. So
Yeah.
kind of brought the
Yeah, she
conversation.
got a lot of play.
Home.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Midnight, Yeah, this man, and kind of is a segue into the episode, man. This episode right now is really called Think. It's gonna be about thinking before you act, and just dealing with the consequences of situations. Because I think they're saying in Gangsta Boo situation right now, they don't think it was foul play. So it might have been, a decision, a personal decision that led to it, or it may have just been a health situation.
Right.
But we do have to always think about consequences and just what can happen as we make decisions. And Thomas, man, you were telling us about a situation recently in the cab. I think it was even yesterday, in which a brother. You could expound upon it. Or what exactly?
I was reading. I was just always searching through the phone, just trying to see what's going on in the community, and it came across an article stating that a customer went to a tire shop to get some work done, and one of the employees went to go pull his car around, and the customer thought that he was trying to steal the car, and he came out busting. And he killed the dude, man, and so it went from a quick go get my tire fixed to now you're facing homicide charges. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So I just felt like, man, that's just we gotta do better, man. But it's impulse control.
Yeah, in fact, man, we've been speaking of doing better, man. Been trying to tighten up on the tech aspect, man. We figured out how to do the screen share here. So we actually gonna play the story, man. 11 Alive did a quick piece. Shouts out to 11 Alive, and we'll give our reaction as to just kind of what we think in terms of this and other stories like this. Too many stories like this.
This just into our 11 Alive newsroom, a crazy story out of Decatur and a sad one. A homicide investigation underway. It happened at Tires Plus along Cab Industrial Way this morning. DeKalb County Police tell us that a suspect, now ID'd as 30-year-old Quadrius McDowell, brought his car in for service. Well, then a Tires Plus employee identified as 24-year-old Daniel Gordon got into the car and started driving it in the parking lot. Investigators say McDowell thought Gordon was trying to steal his car and opened fire, shooting and killing Gordon. Well, one person was able to record the moment McDowell was taken into custody by DeKalb County Police. You're looking at it right now. He is charged with murder and is locked up tonight at the DeKalb County Jail.
Wow.
I dropped.
Wow.
What you?
Yeah, that's a cold story.
Yeah, that's tough, bro. Like, the idea that you had to, turn this thing into like the Wild Wild West. It's like I don't really understand everybody's energy right now. The energy is really on, I'm gonna handle everything right now. You know what I mean? And the gun, between that and the gun culture, and then the social media where people can just say whatever they want to say, and without any repercussions, it seems like this is just snowballing into just this whole atmosphere where it's just Mad Max, just everybody running wild and doing whatever they want to do. And it's just it's sad, really. Like people ask me, was you really a supporter of Biden when you voted? I said, I voted for him just to get the volatile energy that was circling around Trump at the time. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like every time I walked out my house or out the door, it was a possibility that somebody might feel some type of way, or that I might have to, defend myself in a way that I, shouldn't have to. It just seemed like that's where the country is going. You know what I'm saying? It just seems like, man, people are not thinking. They're just reacting.
Right. Yeah, man, like I think back on kind of like reflecting on my childhood, man, and I remember the first time leaving out the house, you know what I mean? Got jumped by some folks, and then immediately having to defend myself, and then just kept walking away from that experience thinking, hey, man, everything is about choosing violence to defend yourself. You know what I mean? Not just running, that fight or flight type thing, but now it's just choosing violence anytime. And from that was probably I was about 6-7 years old. So anytime I got into any type of situation, man, it was about choosing violence. It was just like fight my way out of it, because at the time I didn't know any better. But then as I got older, man, you get to talking about these relationships you in with folks, and probably getting cheated on, man. If my girl ever, I catch my girl cheating, man, I'm beating up everybody. You know what I mean? And then I remember getting pulled over to the side by my brother, and one of his brothers like, man, no, man, that ain't the way, man. Just let that shit go, man. You ain't got to fight, because it's going to turn into something different. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm like, man, I don't know, man. That level of disrespect, bro, I'm coming with it, bro. I'm coming. And then as time kind of evolved, I got wiser. And fortunately, I never was in that situation where I had to go that route. But they did make me think, I should say, a lot of times about learning how to just assess the situation, figure out the consequences before I act on things. You know what I mean? And so a lot of these days, people just choosing violence as an answer to everything, man. And, and we got to find better ways.
Yeah, exactly. I think, along those lines, man, one thing, and I ain't just to play the devil's advocate, man, it's the attorney in me, but LJ, you mentioned Biden and Trump, but right now under Biden's regime, man, the foolishness is still at an all-time high. Snapping off. I think something that's playing an underlying role in it is kind of the climate of what we've all been through. Between the pandemic, things were already tight enough, and if we're honest with ourselves, America is going through a transitional period. You know, we're kind of trying to figure out. We're going through growing pains as a nation of like what's it going to be next for America, because we had that big, industrial revolution and the auto revolution and all those times when we were up. But right now, it seems like internationally, we're not as much of a powerhouse. And although we have some areas that are, continuing to grow, like entertainment or militarization, but we also have a lot of industries that are starting to sputter out and a lot more people winding up in tight situations. And in tight situations, I think people lash out more. But then in watching that story on the news, the elephant in the room, though, is also that I don't think that person should be charged with murder, because I don't think he had the malice of forethought, or I don't think he in his mind went to the tire shop like, I'm finna go kill somebody over my vehicle over nothing. But at the same time, I think it would be aggravated manslaughter, because he did have something that could arguably provoke him to think he had to act in an emergency. But even so, he overacted. And you would think you just got to be mindful of what's going on. As somebody moving around the public, if you take your car to a place for service, common sense would tell you somebody from the place, a technician or someone, is going to touch your vehicle, and maybe communication was not what it was supposed to be. And that's probably why they have protocols in place as to you're supposed to let customers know X, Y, and Z. But no, it's not reasonable to think that, just saying something to this dude is just, shop technician takes the car from here to there to get the work started, is going to result in a shooting.
Right.
Almost, I don't want to say I'd be interested to see brothers' toxicology, but like, bruh, like, how did you just...
But bruh, what you gave him, I think it's implied when you give him the key, man. You say,
like,
usually
come
go
on,
to the
man.
shop, it's let me get your key, we're gonna pull the car
Right.
around in such and
Right.
such a time limit. So go sit your behind down in the waiting room, and then let the thing happen. But to your point though, that we place too much value on material things in that place. Because why wasn't that life important? Why wasn't life not more important than your car just being taken or something? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know we value things and all that stuff. I'm already admitted to my own that feeling disrespected because somebody did something.
I was about to say that respect piece. That was probably he didn't want to
But
feel
that's
trapped.
ego, man. That's ego.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta
Yeah.
let that go. But now he
Right.
about to wherever it is, he possibly could not see his family again.
Right.
You know what I mean? Over a car. They apparently needed some tires. I don't even know what kind of car it was, but I don't think it's worth missing your life and your family over.
Right. And don't get me wrong, like when I was younger, man, I was a hot head too, so, but as I got, older and even went through my trials and tribulations myself, I started to realize, man, okay, is it life and death? Like that became my meter. Is it life and death? Now, of course, if my life is on the line, or my family member life is on the immediate line, of course, I'm going to defend it as best I can. But in that situation, you're looking at a situation where, okay, if the car does get stolen, I mean, even if it's an old car, I mean, they got so many cameras on the road, they probably would have found that car in less than a day. You know what I
Right.
mean? So,
And that's what you pay
and then if they did, and right, and then if they didn't, it's insurance, right? You might get a brand new or something better, you know. So I just feel like we're like what you're alluding to, Thomas, when you say this whole respect thing. It's like people are overplaying that. I feel like, oh, they want to rile themselves up into this whole can't disrespect me, and I'm
Right.
like, that's really an ego thing, really, because if you can walk away and as a law-abiding citizen, use the resources that they have given you to handle those types of situations, it shouldn't have ever come to that. You know what I'm saying? But everybody wants to handle everything themselves right now, and that could come to also with the lack of trust with law enforcement. You know what I mean? A lot of times, I think some parts of certain demographics, they feel like, hey, they don't do nothing for us anyway, so we're gonna settle it ourselves anyway, and that could play a part. So, but at the end of the day, man, if it's not life and death, like, bro, just put it up. But everybody got a gun now.
Right.
Everybody got a gun, and everybody think they're gonna settle the situation with that gun. And,
Right.
and 9 times out of 10, it ain't that. It's never gonna be that.
Right.
I think one thing, as we look at the topic of think before you act, one of the huge things that's helped me be better with that, because I also have had a tendency to just, just do something, just act. And then time you act, you gotta try to work back from there. And it's real easy to do something. You can literally take, man, 10 seconds, 5 seconds, and change the course of your life, moving forward. And that might have been just over how you felt, over what may or may not have even been correct information. Some people jumped out the window over wrong information. Somebody told them something, or they thought something was what they perceived, and they did something that, a quick decision, and it may be as bad as a fatality, or it may just be a personal relationship in which you say something or you do something to someone in which now you can't really go back from there, or that's going to always kind of be there, that happened. So, that's one great reason to think before you act, is that, it can take you a few seconds, but time on the other end of it, how long are you going to have to invest time, resources, and everything, just your credibility, your reputation, everything, into undoing the consequences of your action.
Right.
And then I think also another thing that kind of sometimes helped me slow down and just think is like having a plan, as you move and as you go out. Like, as he went out, if his plan was, I'm finna get my car handled, then think about that and stay focused there. Of course you want to protect your property, but somewhere in that you would think, man, I'm not finna go all the way out and get in a shooting, because that's just gonna overall slow down what's going on, and it's not what I'm here for. I'm here for work to get done on my vehicle. If you stay in that mind frame, arguably you're gonna be looking around and recognizing people that are working there and seeing them do the work on your vehicle. And some of those things may be avoided. But again, we weren't there, so I don't know. But in my practice and my day-to-day work, I have a lot of situations where people come to us in criminal practice and need us to arguably undo something they've done. And I say it in jest to folks, but unfortunately I don't got a time machine. Like, I can give you excellent legal counsel and advice as to making your next move your best move, or this is what the law says, or this is what judges tend to do. But some of it, I don't get to decide the facts. People get really upset, and you have to remind them of, well, you had the best opportunity to control all of this at the time. As frustrated as you may be with me because the prosecutor's being an asshole, in your opinion, you had the most control over this, and they're going to quickly remind me of that once I put too much pressure on the prosecutor about it. Like, well, your client should have X, Y, and Z.
Right.
So
we're coming up on the end, but I just want to throw this out here right quick. It's kind of go back to a lot of conversations we have, man. You got to have a better understanding of yourself, a little more self-awareness. And I know that comes with time, but more importantly, like, getting a handle of your emotions and making sure that your emotions are not controlling your thoughts, because sometimes your thoughts don't match your reality. So kind of what you were saying about assessing, gathering information. Now, it's easy for me to say in hindsight and sitting on the outside looking in, but at the point you see your car move, if you in the and they say, hey man, y'all move my car around. You know what I mean? You just go to the phone, just get some information. Just so you know how to kind of move. Oh, say, all right, cool. I thought somebody trying to steal my ride. You know what I mean? It's easy for me to say that here, but that would be my first thing personally. Be like, hey man, y'all moving my car? Because hey, if I see my car moving, you know what I mean? They be like, oh yeah, so we moving around now. We be done in about 30 minutes or so. And they be like, all right, bet. Just having that information and learning how to control your emotions and your impulses. You know what I mean? And making sure that your thoughts are not driven solely by emotion, so you can stay in like Trip was saying, in your reality. This is the reality of your situation.
Right. I think that's key. Really having a real perspective of where you really are, like what is really going on at this time. And like I said, in something like this, you have time to say, okay, is this really happening? And if it is, I got other resources to handle it in a different way. And that goes with anything, really. All the stuff that we see on the news right now, where people are just like road rage to anything else, just parents fighting at games. It's just it's like a free for all. Everybody just want to go off the top. I'm gonna prove my point. I want to prove my point that I'm a tough guy. I'm strong, or I'm not no, punk or whatever. So at the end of the day, and like I said, I used to be in that mindset, but I never won. Like, even if I did technically win, I never won in the end. So as I got older, I just started realizing, like, man, okay, you proved what point? That point is really negated at that moment, because now you're gone. You're away from, your loved ones. You're away from everything that you work so hard to obtain. Right. So, we just gotta think, man. We just gotta start thinking and stop being emotional about every little thing. Make a business decision. The business decision is stay home with your people, and let the authorities handle whatever we're gonna handle.
Right.
I can dig it, man. As we wrap it up, man, just shit real quick, man. You guys hit on 2 great points, man. One, communication. Communication is key. That can cut out a lot of, just situations going left. Just somebody speaking up and expressing themselves, even if they don't respect what you say. At least you express yourself, and folks know how you felt, and that way you make it go on your own way. At least people act accordingly. And then I think also just that part about emotion. Just not getting so worked up, not being so triggered, because, between the times, between even social media, YouTube just showed you 30,000 people getting knocked out. So now okay, it's up. You got to do something. Nobody wants to be on the other end of the exchange. So at this point, on some level, people going to fly off the handle, that much more. So I think it's just important, man. The older you get, the more you think about it, man. Think before you act, and just try not to be in situations that'll, take that ability away from you, in which you can always at least think and make your best decision for yourself moving forward. Even think, hey, how will I feel tomorrow about this decision?
Exactly. That's it. The flag is thrown, man.
Hey, there we go. And we didn't do too bad with the tech upgrades. We actually got the video to play pretty good. So
hey, that's what's up. That's what's up,
man. Shouts out to everybody checking in, man. We see the views starting to go up. We appreciate that. Thank you to folks commenting and letting us know to keep going with it. Happy New Year.
3R play. What's the question, Trip?
Hey, does it work for you?
Does it work for you?
Right.
All day.
We out.
Peace.
Now we just pause.
Oh yeah, I'm about to end the recording. All right.
You see, the thing that separates us from every other group of slaves is the fact that
thank y'all for tuning in today and every day. And remember to keep running your 3-yard play.
Look at them mouths, we feel like flowers, they gon' grow. We gon' water season, watch that harvest flow. I've been crunching numbers.
Cause we know heroes are made in the off season.
There should be no reason
and grind the slow is better than crashing out
we
for
get
dough.
that money bound for we don't run it.
Let's say, young brothers, remember,
fulfill the promise.
I ain't never 3 yards every day. They can never
I can't
stop.
read that narrative, so ain't no need of calling us. You ain't never had to tell your kid being black was a sin, cause his skin was reflected through America. Taking care of us was just a handout, right? But it was fair when free labor was just as nice. I can bet you your life, your kids living alright. Cause me and mine had to do
rocking with the
die
3-yard play podcast.
I get mine, you get yours, but together, nigga, we gon' get some more, Look at them mouths, we feel like flowers,
So
they
like,
gon' grow.
subscribe, share,
We gon' water
and let's
season, watch that
discuss.
harvest flow. I've been
What's up with
crunching
us?
numbers, winter, fall, spring, or summer. There should be no
Thank
reason
you.
that the baby
Tuning
never
into
hunger.
the 3-yard
When we
play
get that money
podcast.
bound for, we don't run it. I only
Folks
pledge
on to
allegiance
it.
to, gon' fulfill the promise.